Under my administration, we're fighting against the lobbyists, the special interests, and the corrupt Washington politics.
President Trump said that he would drain the swamp, taking power away from Washington lobbyists and special interests. Now, more of them have seats at his table in his cabinet. Former industry lobbyists or corporate executives are leading at least 4 agencies. Take a look at the wall and you can see 4 of them. A former exec at Boeing is heading the Department of Defense. A former coal lobbyist is the acting administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency. A former pharmaceutical executive is the Secretary of Health and Human Services. And the acting Interior Secretary is a former oil industry lobbyist. Now, reporting from Politico suggests that could create more problems for the administration now that Democrats run the House. Quote, House Democrats have signaled that they intend to investigate Cabinet Secretary's potential conflicts of interest, likely subjecting agency leaders to contentious oversight hearings and an explosion of document requests. The former EPA Chief Scott Pruitt and the former Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke both resigned as ethics investigations focused on them. Back out now to the panel, Midwin and Pete and Joy and Michael. I hear the talk about draining the swamp. I don't know anybody in the country who doesn't want Washington to be run more by corporate interests or more by lobbyists. But is this just kind of the nature of the swamp? These aren't the first insiders to be heading cabinet agencies. I mean, Hank Paulson was the Treasury Secretary after he was the head of Goldman Sachs. Sure. So is this just kind of like, is this just kind of like the way the game is played?
I think it's really, really important that we understand that we don't agree on what words mean. So I'll speak to, as a strong progressive, I'll speak to progressive audiences when we say, what does the swamp mean to you? And we don't all share the same definition. I thought that government was supposed to do what's in the public's interest, not what's in a special interest, an industry's interest. So I'm outraged, of course, by this. But as Michael and I were talking, he's the, quote, conservative on the panel. And how do Trump supporters, see the swamp? What do they think the swamp is?
I mean, from their perspective, they think this is a good thing. These individuals come from industry. They have that corporate background. They would preference these types of individuals over a career bureaucrat, even if the career bureaucrat would have more experience running the agency, knowing all the nuances and all the variables to make the agency run efficiently.
Regulate.
To them, that is swampy. They don't trust those people because from their vantage point, those people don't understand them.
Well, but you do need people, Joy, who have some kind of experience in the role. I mean, Ernest Moniz, who was a nuclear scientist, was the Secretary of Energy under President Obama. Thomas Jefferson was the ambassador to France, for those of you who've been watching Hamilton.
Wow,
and became the first secretary. Absolutely. But that's what I'm saying is like there's something from the roots of our democracy. Right. The people who have been doing these jobs have needed some experience in the field. The question, maybe to Shermichael's point, is where it crosses the line from the national interest into self-interest.
And I think also you have to think about what people think that running the agency is supposed to mean.
Yes.
Right? And so running the agency, well, if I believe that, yes, we should have people that have experience running businesses and running businesses in that industry, they know what works. They know how to manage people. And if you believe that, then having the head of Boeing, right, having the head of Boeing or having the, coal industry in the EPA makes sense to you because you believe that they have the experience running a successful business. Whereas to your point, those of us, who may be leaning progressive or just want some independence, want someone who is able to not only think about the business interests of those industries, but then also make sure that we're regulating and doing things in a way that they don't overstep.
But you may be asking for something, Midwin, that I don't think is on the president's mind per se. I mean, if there's something that has become clear as the cabinet has changed, it's that the president is surrounding himself more with people who agree with him more solidly. Yeah. I mean, look where Rex Tillerson is right now. Right. Having said that, that makes sense for a president. Like, you want the people working around you to reflect your worldview. Mm-hmm. They're not there to set policy. They're there to execute his policy. So maybe the faces we put on the wall are the faces who are supposed to be in a Trump cabinet.
You know, there was a time when the appearance of impropriety or even the appearance of a conflict of interest meant something. Usually there was a time where it disqualified you. As an attorney, if there's any appearance of impropriety or any appearance of a conflict of interest that I have with a client or with opposing counsel or even a judge or a law clerk, I have to recuse myself. And it's unfortunate that that standard does not seem to exist with this administration. Look, I understand that these people who head these agencies have a job to do. But the problem is we have to wonder, who are they serving? Are they serving these industry interests or are they serving the people? And they do have to serve both, and I understand that. We are a country. We are a country where corporations want to exist, they want to make profit. I get that. We are also a country where these agencies have to serve the public. They have to make sure that the public is safe. They have to make sure that our water is clean. And I understand that. It's competing interests, right? To a certain extent. But we want to make sure that the person who is in that job understands that there are competing interests and that they are not going to sell one party or the other short.
Well, and there's been debate over the years as to what the proper role is of agencies like say the proper
I get that, but
in terms of what the law allows them to do. There's been debate over
I understand that, but when we're all drinking brown water, it's going to become real clear.
I hear that.
Job. Well, you understand what I'm saying? Because Flint is still drinking brown water, and we have to.
But those are brown people that are generally drinking it, and these white. Sorry for being. Well, I'm the white guy on the panel. Let me just say it. Everybody. Let's just say I don't know if anybody noticed that yet.
I didn't notice.
But yeah.
Although I should know, the only person on the panel, only the white guy on the panel has had anything from the cornucopia. We're low on time, but I need everybody to pick. Don't give Pete anything else.
But I'm going to take the plate. But I know there's another hour of show. Good luck with that. But the Environmental Protection Agency is supposed to protect the environment, not destroy the environment.
Because you can't say anything else. You have to pick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Plus, we're out of time.
Until you've eaten the donut.
Plus, we're out of time. So y'all have to go to the plate.
Well,
I know.
Are you allowed to put one back? That's forbidden, right?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'll leave. So sorry. I'm Joy Williams. Thank you for spending the hour with us.